Hi, welcome to One Voice Chats. I'm Scott Schaefer, president and founder of One Voice. Welcome back. We've had a few of these. This is highlighting pastors and churches and ministries in the Quad Cities area doing gospel work. And so today's guest is Ed Hedding, Pastor Ed Hedding from Pleasant View Baptist Church. Welcome, Ed.
Welcome. Good to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. And at One Voice Chats, it's pretty non-threatening, so we're just going to talk a little bit.
I look forward to it.
So you have a history of Pleasant View Baptist, when it started, and locations and stuff like that.
Yeah, we just had our 50th anniversary. In fact,
That's right,
we celebrated here on April 14th of 2018, right here in this room.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're 51 years old officially on January 7th, and
Great.
started in Pleasant Valley, down where the Mickey's restaurant is now.
Yep.
Used to be a community building. It was kind of a bar, VFW building, and they would go in on Sunday morning and clean it up and get rid of the beer cans and everything, and then they'd have church. And within a year, they had built a building where we are now on Crow Creek Road, right across from Pleasant View Elementary School. And so they've been in that building 50 years.
50 years, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You don't hear that much.
No.
You hear mainline denominations like that, but as far as, a church. What was the drive behind Pleasant View Baptist? Do you know?
Well, at Grand Avenue Baptist, which is now Grandview Baptist Church.
Oh,
they
really?
were
That
on
was a
Grand
different
Avenue,
Okay.
Downtown Davenport, until they moved out here by the mall.
Yeah.
They're the mother church to Cornerstone Baptist out in Eldridge, and our church, and Community Bible Fellowship, really, out in Bluegrass, came out of that church. And so there was a group of people that were attending Grandview, and they were involved in teaching Sunday school and various things, and they realized there was a group of them that were from Pleasant Valley in Bettendorf, east part of Bettendorf, and they just had a heart for the people of LeClaire, Pleasant Valley, and the east side of Bettendorf. And so they approached the leadership there at Grandview Baptist, and with their blessing and with our denomination Converge, they went over and planted a church. And Mel Dirksen was the founding pastor, and he is now, I believe, 97 years old. Still drives to our church on Sunday mornings.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wow.
And I got after him because he was out actually snow blowing his driveway a few weeks ago. And so anyway, he comes, and it's really a joy to have him there. He's very supportive of me, and just to have him there. So that was the impetus to just reach out to that community, because back then it was all farmland out there.
Yeah.
Pleasant Valley High School was built in 1960, and so that was like a new territory for churches to go to, because there weren't a lot of people living out there.
Was it for lack of a better term, threatening a little bit, having him there, knowing that he planted that church sent by Grandview?
Well, before I came, I sat down with him and got his blessing.
Yeah.
I remember when we sat down and talked, he asked me very few questions. He just asked me, the deciding factor was I a dispensationalist? And when he found out that I was, he says, okay, you're good. And so ever since then, we've had a great relationship.
Yeah.
So,
nobody can spell it, but yes.
But I mean, he's always been supportive, and
That's great.
he's given me some advice. I go visit him a couple times a year, and he'll give me some pointers, because I'm still the young pastor to him.
Oh yeah. Well, I would listen to a 97-year-old.
That's right.
How long have you been in pastoral ministry?
Since 1985.
Okay.
1985, I started out
Here
as
I got saved.
Yeah, that's I was just out of graduate school and dating my wife. We weren't married then, and I moved to Conyers, Georgia, with 5 guys, 2 couples and 3 single guys, and we planted a church down just outside of Atlanta. And so that's where I started, was youth pastor. I did youth ministry for 18 years, and then I've been a senior pastor now for 16 years.
Did you always feel a call, or since a kid? Your father worked for Jerry Falwell.
Right.
Is that right?
Right.
And so did you feel a call when you were there at, did you go to Liberty then?
Yep.
Yeah. So when did it start stirring? About what age?
Yeah. So my dad became a Christian when he was 38 and I was 13, and within 9 months we moved from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to Virginia, because my dad felt called to ministry, and he started the first year of the seminary, actually started. And so then he stayed and got on staff. And I was in Lynchburg Christian Academy. It's now called Liberty Christian Academy. And I remember when I was 16 years old, I was in a chapel service, and Roscoe Brewer, who is the missions director at Thomas Road, preached. And he preached about how 25% of the population at that time were young people. And I just felt a call in that chapel service to reach out to, I felt called to ministry to especially youth. And so that's why I spent 18 years as youth pastor. But it was like, as soon as I got that calling, I just kind of knew what my focus was for the rest of my life.
When did you feel called a senior pastor or lead
Well,
pastor?
that's a funny story because my oldest son, Joshua, he was in 6th grade, and I was the youth pastor at Emmanuel Baptist Church in Kankakee, where we'd been up to 8 years at that point. And he came in to me and he says, Dad, he says, I love you, but he says, I want somebody else to be my youth pastor. And so it was about that time that the senior pastor moved on to a larger church, and I was there, and I threw my hat in the ring, and I felt like, well, at 42 at that point, it was time for me maybe to step up to the plate, and I did, and kind of honored my son's request to hire Dan Fox, the next youth pastor, come in and be his youth pastor, and I became the senior.
Well, it's unheard of.
Just worked
18
out.
years in youth ministry is unheard of.
It's a long time.
So what's the mission, calling mission of Pleasant View Baptist Church?
Well, it's 3 words: connect, grow, and serve. And connecting with God and with others, growing in our relationship with God and with others, and then serving in our church and our community and around the world. That's our short vision statement: connect, grow, serve. That's
All
what
right.
we boil it down to.
All right. Any stories testimonies that you've witnessed there in your time at Pleasant View?
Yeah, there's been lots of them.
Yeah, I know. It's trying to narrow down to one.
One I think of is my neighbor, Chris Heddington. We live out north of Princeton, and she's kind of the go-to person in our community. And she and 2 other ladies walked consistently at 6:30 in the morning pretty much throughout the year unless it got really cold. And so this one lady, Nancy Barnes, they'd been walking for years and years. And Nancy had been became a Christian early in her life, but had been divorced, remarried, and just had not gone to church for many, many years. And through Chris's influence of walking over a period of time, one day Nancy just woke up and said, I need to get back to church. And so she was instrumental in bringing Nancy back to the faith and coming to our church. And as a result, her husband, who is, at this point, we don't believe is a believer, comes on a regular, every Sunday pretty much, and hears the word. And so I just think of Chris, her patient, reaching out, loving people, just being there for people, being there in our community. And she's been a real lighthouse for drawing people to our church.
Well, the church that I worked at for years, we did a Sunday or a weekend. So stand up if a friend invited you to church, and probably 80% of the church stood up.
Yeah.
So that's it's good to have a lady like that in your community to do that. So what are you preaching on nowadays? You have a series going? Or
Yeah, I'm excited. We're doing Nehemiah. We were looking for something really to be positive to kick off the new year. And so right after the second week of January, I started on Nehemiah. I preached through it before. It's funny, it was the first series I preached through as a senior pastor. And it has so many great leadership principles in it. But also, the part I like about it, it's just like reading a prayer journal.
Yeah.
He's just telling you his story. Yeah. And it's so easy to preach through it, but it's just a great learning experience. And we just preached yesterday on how he completed the wall in 52 days and how he doesn't celebrate right away. He wants to get society and everything going and rebuild the Jewish ethnicity and citizenry. And so it's exciting. Yeah. It's just exciting to see how he rebuilt the country from the ground up.
Yeah.
As well as built the walls.
Yeah, we need to applaud those scriptural heroes that kept Judaism alive, for what we've inherited today.
Yeah.
So any upcoming events at Pleasant View that
May 5th is our Surf Sunday.
Yeah, you guys
Something we incorporated about 8 years ago when I first came. Yeah. The fact that we go out into 11 different projects, and we're not a very big church, but we have teams of people who go out and do 11 different projects in the community, and just to give back.
Yeah.
We tell them we want to love you with no strings attached. Yeah. We're not here to promote our church.
Right.
We're not here to proselytize anybody or try to draw attention to us. We just want to give back. I think so many churches, people look at the churches, we're all about money and what we can get from people, and we want to be just engaging and be relevant to our community. And they're blown away. These project managers I talk to, they're blown away that we would donate our time. But the other nice thing about Surf Sunday, it gets us out from 10 to 12 when we normally would be in church connecting with people who aren't in church.
Right.
And so there's all kinds of side benefits to this opportunity.
That's a great concept. So
Yeah.
So your service is at 10?
Our service is at 9:45.
9:45.
I'm sorry, I should say again, 9:15 a.m. And we go, and that day we would go till 9:45 and be out.
Yeah.
But 9:15, and then we have connect groups in Sunday school at 10:45. Connect groups is our adult Bible fellowships, and then Sunday school for the kids.
And you just recently switched that around, right?
Yeah, a year
so
ago,
it's
January.
Yeah.
We've just gone through a year, and what's been really beneficial to us is that we have seen our engagement and being involved in the connect groups and Sunday school after the worship go up from 50% to 75%.
Oh, that's great.
And so that is a real blessing.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
So how can people reach Pleasant View? What Facebook, website?
Well, our website is pleasantviewbett.com because there's lots of Pleasant View Baptists around the country. So we're pleasantviewbett.com. And then Facebook, Pleasant View Baptist Church.
Yeah.
We're on the Twitter at hashtag PVBCBETT.
Okay.
So those are 3 ways you can get a hold of us.
So people might be watching that don't know about the church. They go to another church, but how can they be praying for Pleasant View Baptist Church? Is there something?
Yeah, we want to. We really, really want to be relevant and connecting with the community around us. That's what we want to do. But on the other hand, we also are wanting to be disciple makers, disciples who make disciples, and we're going to be very, very intentional on that point coming up here. Getting into the summer, because we just feel like too many people, it's gathering head knowledge, but it's not obedience faith, not obedience knowledge.
Right.
And so we're going to really emphasize get a small group of people together who really want to go out and have spiritual conversations and then train them to do that better so that when they win somebody to Christ, they can train that person to become a disciple maker who makes disciples as well. Right. That's where we're headed.
That's where we all should be headed.
Yes.
Disciples making disciples.
We're going to be very intentional.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Ed, and we'll be right back with our speed round. Welcome back to One Voice Chats, to our speed round. This is really where it gets interesting. I tell you, you'll hear the heart of the man on this one. So, coffee or tea?
Tea.
Tea. Any
No
certain
coffee.
kind? Oh, no.
Well, I like iced tea. No, I grew up, my dad didn't drink coffee. My mom did, but I just never have had a taste for coffee.
All right.
So it's iced tea.
All right. Iced tea.
That's really the big thing for me.
Pepsi or Coke?
Pepsi,
Nah.
no doubt.
Yes.
Mountain Dew or
You're a
Pepsi.
good man.
Yeah.
You're a good man. You got a favorite movie?
Remember the Titans.
Oh,
I love
okay.
that movie.
Really?
I mean, it's just awesome.
It is a great
I love
movie.
it. I love it. The
Yeah,
whole idea behind Denzel Washington trying to bridge that racial gap and the pressure was on him. It was awesome.
Boys, that needed today, yeah. Favorite band or song?
Oh,
This is
that's a tough one. Let's see. Favorite song, favorite band. That's tough. Chris Tomlin probably.
No?
I listen
Okay.
a lot to.
All right.
I don't really know. I got more favorite songs but I don't know. I'm just trying to think how deep the Father's love for us now is really speaking to me, I guess.
That's great.
I go through periods of different songs.
Yeah, I do too. I
don't
just
really have one I
on
settle
repeat all the time.
Yeah.
Like the One True God
Yeah.
Chapman song.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Repeat, But favorite author or book?
Oh, well, J.I. Packer,
Okay.
Knowing God. That just really transformed
Classic.
my life in seminary
Okay.
when I realized it was more than head knowledge, these attributes, but how they really applied to my life. So I'd say that's one of the main ones.
Okay. If somebody asked me, I'd always have to say Fresh Wind, Fresh Fire.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just read it every year.
Yeah.
Just to remind me of the power of prayer and there's nobody out of the reach of the Father.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
favorite quote? Do you have a quote that you kind of stick to, or
These are tough ones, man. Let's see.
This was
Favorite
supposed to be easy.
quote? Boy, that escapes me right now. There's just so many different things out there that I could think of, but
All right.
I'll come back
That's
to
all
it.
right,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Favorite food?
Oh, I would say Mexican food. We like a lot of
Oh,
Mexican food. Yeah.
My wife is just it's
Mexican.
the same thing. It's
Yeah.
like,
We
where are we
like-
going? Let's go to the Mexican. Oh,
Yeah. My wife and I, we love it.
All right.
There's all the good restaurants around here to enjoy. Chimichangas.
a lot of them.
That's my favorite.
Favorite hobby? Any hobbies that you?
Yeah, I
like
love to play golf. Used to do a lot more running. I hope to get back to that, get back to running some races. But golf, it's a real great stress reliever. I tell my wife it's cheaper than a therapist. Just to get out, not have your cell phone with you, and just be out there and God's nature and just enjoying it, even if I play bad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I just enjoy it.
yeah. One of my best friends runs a golf ministry
Yeah,
in his
yeah.
grip, and that's 5 hours of uninterrupted time.
That's right. And you're with somebody that you're building a relationship with, too.
And that's what he does on the course. So, golf used to be one of mine. Not so much anymore. It's I'm a used to be.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
well, Ed, thanks for being with us on One Voice Chat. So we appreciate it. And
Sure.
God bless Pleasant View and you
Yeah.
and Diane and everything you're doing.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to One Voice Chats. Again, my name is Scott Schaefer with One Voice QC. And until next time, see you later.